morning, replay viewers. If it's morning when you see this. Yeah. Hey, Mom. My eyes are a little blurry still. I slept late. I actually got up, went back to bed. Read Sugar Skull. Sugar Skulls are cool. I just got out of the shower, so my face is still all red. Hey, Cynthia. I almost missed my daily reading before noon Eastern time. But I'm here, and it's before noon, so we're good. I just missed my normal 10:30-ish time zone. So, hey, Nina. You guys, good morning. So, we've had some, major Course in Miracles readings this week. And today's another one. So, let's get started. Let me introduce myself for new peoples and replay viewers who don't know me. Hi, Monica. My name is Michelle Wolf. I have been a therapist and social worker in the past. I'm currently a coach for healers and helpers, and by that I mean anyone who's healing others and helping others in the world. Animal people, police officers, nurses, whatever. It's my mission to help the helpers stay healthy so you can continue to do your mission in the world in a healthy way. So you can find me at Caddyshack Designs. CaddyshackDesigns.com has a little tab, has tabs across the top. Hey, Catherine. I'm just doing the introduction, so you haven't missed anything. When you go to my website, my hand is trembling. You can screenshot this, and then if you expand it, it'll take care of the blurriness. On my website, across the top are tabs for all the services I offer. Good morning, sunshine. I do Young Living oils. Basically, I will do whatever it takes to keep you guys going, helpers going, and healers going. I'm an artist. I'll be starting some artwork today. That'll be posted on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/wolfdenpress. Again, you probably want to screenshot that because it looks a little blurry. I'm moving my artwork from this site to a Redbubble site, so don't worry about that too much. But what we do here on our daily reading is talk about A Course in Miracles. We use, there's a lot of Christian language in A Course in Miracles, but I invite you to hang out and replace those words with words you're comfortable with, because the concepts are universal, global. All major religions talk about the same thing, so try not to get too hung up on the word God. So, today's reading is about oneness. My hair's still wet. I use Young Living coconut oil, and coconut oil plus Young Living frankincense oil and lavender, because look how red my face gets. That oil helps calm it down. I have sensitive skin. I'm just sensitive. So anyway, September 19th. It's a long one, so stick with me, guys. Father, you have one son. And by son, it means all of us, because we're all one. Okay? We're all parts of the same body. We're all waves in the same ocean. So keeping in mind that definition of son, let's go. And it is he that I would look upon today, because he is your one creation. Why should I perceive 1,000 forms in what remains as one? Why should I give this one 1,000 names when only one suffices? For your son must bear your name, for you created him. Let me not see him as a stranger to his father, nor as a stranger to myself. For he is a part of me, and I of him, and we are a part of you, who are our source. Eternally united in your love, eternally the Holy Son of God. It's kind of a big one. Father, you have one Son. That's all of us. And it is he that I would look upon today, meaning that if I look at myself in the mirror and I turn around and see your face, it's the same. Me and you. And why should we perceive 1,000 forms, billions and billions of different bodies? We're human. That's part of our human experience, so we can't help that. But what we can help is remember that all those billions of bodies at the core of it are all connected. Quantum physics, if you want to think of it in scientific terms. If you boil me down to the smallest component, and the cat down, and the house down, and you down, at that level, visibly, you can see visible evidence of us all being the same stuff. I think the saying, we are made of stars, is true in ways that we don't actually comprehend. So why should I give this one 1,000 names when only one suffices? For your son must bear your name. So this is the most important line, I think, especially given what's in the news lately. And especially given in America we're gearing up for presidential elections, which is always a very uncomfortable time in this country. Let me not see him as a stranger to his father, nor a stranger to myself. For he is part of me and I of him, and we are all part of you, who is our source. The only place we can unite is in love. The only place we disconnect is in fear and greed. So what drives our conflicts is fear of resources. I mean, I don't believe for 1 second that if we were all coming from a place of love, that people would be drowning in the oceans trying to get from one country to another. It wouldn't happen. I have extra food in my house. I know that you probably have extra food in your house. In fact, we're all talking to each other. Hi, Heidi, HJ. We're all talking to each other on smartphones, which means we also have some form of internet access, which means in a lot of places we're extremely wealthy. Regardless of how much money we have in the bank or how much credit card debt we're carrying, we're rich to be able to talk to each other on Periscope. That automatically makes us like astoundingly wealthy to a lot of people in a lot of parts of the world. Like, we're a small percentage. Having internet access and smartphones and the ability to use these apps is a very small percentage if you're thinking in terms of the whole world. I mean, I was listening to NPR once, and there's huge, massive chunks of the world that still can't even access internet. They may know what it is and how to use it, but they don't have access to it because it just isn't available yet. If we could ever get past that layer of fear that makes us think, if I give to you, I'm going to die, or if I pull you onto my boat and we go together, that we're both going to capsize, the world would totally be a different place. Hey, Linda, if we could even temporarily relax that fear response to immigrants and people who want to use Planned Parenthood, or, oh, I'm so late, Linda, I just got started. I overslept and then had to take a shower. Yeah, so you're not late. You can watch the replay if you want, but mostly we're talking about coming from love instead of fear. And a fear of lack is a lie. Yes. Fear is a brain that's believing a lie. Really, write this down somewhere. If you're feeling fear, you have told yourself a lie. So Hungary closing its borders and tear gassing people trying to come in is a fear. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not judging anybody. I might do the same thing. I'm not there. But from out here, you can see clearly that it's fear. The United States always wanting to block Mexico is fear. It's a fear of scarcity. It's a fear of resources. It's a fear of losing what we think is our American identity, our language, English. Most other countries have 2 or more languages posted. We just usually have English. But some people get very upset about the frequency of Spanish showing up. Lack mentality is out of touch with reality. Oh, somebody screenshot that and send it to me. Because it's true. It's true, guys. If we help another person, we're not taking from ourselves. We're actually increasing the flow. We're increasing our options if we're doing it from a place of, you know what, I'd rather pull you onto my boat and have us both drown than be the kind of person who would leave you to drown and save myself. And maybe that's because I'm older and I don't have young kids in the house that I think that way. I feel like I'd rather sacrifice myself than abandon someone else to die. And there's always enough love. Yes, there's always enough love. And if you're coming from a place of love, you're not going to die by sharing. Unless it's your time to die, and then that's a whole different story. I started out my career as an EMT in Fort Worth, Texas, and people die in some extremely... EMT is an emergency medical technician, so I was on an ambulance all day. So, if it's your time to go, it's your time to go, and people die in such weird circumstances. After you see that hundreds of times, you're just like, yeah, there's no avoiding it. Take some precautions, take some reasonable safety measures, but if God is calling you home, you're going. If your ticket is punched, you are going to be on that train. So, the only way to respond to situations from a place of love and abundance rather than scarcity is to have that healed within yourself first. If I don't heal the war within myself, the constant push-pull of you versus me and me versus them and Republicans versus Democrats and Americans versus Mexicans and, Hungarians versus Syria refugees or whatever, if I don't heal those thoughts in myself, if I don't put the brakes on that, I'm never going to get to the place where I can share as freely as is possible for me. So it's like, be aware, not fearful. Yeah. So be reasonable, be logical, do some planning, plan for immigrants. Scarcity mentality, yeah, it's a real human thing. Because if you boil it down, and I used to absolutely talk away. You guys can share anything you want whenever you want. I'm just babbling. Relates to self-love. So Heidi's going to share something that relates to self-love for her. You guys always feel free to share stories or whatever. I totally welcome that. This isn't the Michelle show. It's a group effort. Go Heidi. Go Heidi. Share your story. Go Heidi. Totally welcome. So, the immigration thing's been on my mind a lot, and I thought this morning's reading was valid. And I may actually have to take a Facebook break. That's what we're here for. Time is love. So when I say there's always enough love, I say to myself there's always enough time. Ooh, that's big. Time to slow down and be present. Yes. Yes. If we don't slow down and be present, we continue to function in the world through our knee-jerk reactions for yourself to show up. Yes. One of Eckhart Tolle's books says, what's wrong with this moment? If we're fighting against this moment and we're rushing to get away from it, we can ask ourselves, what's so bad about right here, right now, that I'm trying so hard to escape from it? What's so horrible about this moment? Oh yeah, we all are. Granted, I'm still learning this over and over. We all are. Which is why I'm constantly nagging everyone I know to have a daily practice, because it's a constant learning process for all of us, for everybody. I sometimes have to take a Facebook break during political events, so Planned Parenthood, I guess, had its funding put on hold, and that can be a hot button topic for me, because then there goes access to birth control and, sexual education and sexual health, things like that. So I can really get on a soapbox about that if I let myself. But that's not productive. Anne pulled the slow down card this morning. It says, you'll miss the honey if you hurry. Oh my gosh, you guys are coming up with such awesome things today. Yeah, you're welcome, HJ, anytime. I'm here every day. Oh, I really like that one too. You'll miss the honey. It's so true. If I don't slow down, I can find myself knee-jerk reacting to the things that I see on Facebook about Donald Trump and Planned Parenthood and animal rights. And I do want to respond to those things, but I want to respond to them in a healthy way. Like, I don't agree with Donald Trump, obviously. I mean, you guys should probably know that by now, but I also don't have to let thinking about him ruin my day, right? He doesn't know me, doesn't care about me, doesn't care about the people in this country. Yeah, sharing is how we learn, right? Peer-to-peer learning is the most effective way. I can't respond to the Planned Parenthood issue by being mad. If I'm mad at Congress, if I'm mad at politicians, then I'm mad at myself. If we're all one, we can't have it both ways, okay? So we can't sit on our meditation cushion and say we're all one unless you're a Republican, and then I don't like you, so we're not all one. We can't say we're all one unless you're a police officer at the Hungarian border tear gassing refugees. That police officer has to be part of me too. Right. And on the most extreme end, Donald Trump has to be part of me too. And I really dislike him. So then that goes back to the shadow self. What is it about him that I personally dislike? So that's an area of exploration. What is it about Republican politics? Not all Republicans, let's say that first of all, but the stuff that gets pumped up in the news. Yeah, right. Yuck. Ew. I don't want Donald Trump to be part of me. Ew, that's gross. He's so gross. His hair is so ugly. It is hard, but we can't have it both ways. Oh my, Anne, oh my. My parents are radically Republican, very vocal. It's horrible. It's horrible. I have a pretty good mix of Republican and Democrat people on my personal Facebook page, which you guys are welcome to join. If you just Google Michelle Wolf Facebook, you'll find me. We can't have it both ways, but man, that's hard. Oh, that is hard. So it goes back to the shadow conversation we had earlier in this week or late last week. It's up on Katch. You guys can catch any of these that you miss on the Katch channel. It's katch.me/Michelle Wolf 11. It's just my Periscope handle and Twitter handle. It's the same. Katch.me/handle. You guys can find it. We talked about shadow work and how if I have one finger pointing out, this is an old thing from Alcoholics Anonymous. One finger pointing out, 3 fingers pointing back at me. Or if you spot it, you got it. Ow! If you spot it, you got it. Dang it. That means I got a lot of work to do. If I'm getting mad over what you say, Michelle Wolf, one more one, and that's almost there. Thank you, Linda. If you spot it, you got it means that if big shadow that is hiding a big light, yes, the big shadow is your clouds across the shining light of source, the sun. That's how we block the sun. That's how we block our connection to God. That's how we block our feeling of coming from love rather than coming from fear. If you're in fear, perfect. Right there, you guys. Boop. Thank you, Linda. You can screenshot that, and you can always find those. So I did a 45-minute talk the other day on shadow work and how if you see a behavior in someone else and it's upsetting to you, you've got it. You've got it somewhere. It's a disowned part of yourself that you're pissed off about or you're hurt about or whatever. It's information for you. So I hadn't thought much about why Donald Trump and the Republican political platform irritates me so. But mostly I think that comes from fear. I'm afraid if that thought process takes precedence, people won't get what they need, that I won't get what I need, that with people like that in control of saying, more babies, no Planned Parenthood, no, let's have more babies, but then saying, oh, you can't have food stamps for babies, sorry. You can't have medical care for babies, sorry. So, this is a real, like, that's my knee-jerk response. Like, well, then who's going to take care of all the babies? If we don't have birth control and we don't have control over our reproductive rights, who's going to take care of all those babies? You don't want to take care of them, so, it gets me scrambled up there. So part of my response is fear. And then if I go deeper, then part of my response is my own scarcity thoughts. If they get, I won't get. If I give it all to them, I won't have. So that greed, that scarcity, that grip we get on stuff when we're so afraid to open our hands. And it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion because we don't own anything. We're here to utilize some resources while we're alive, but once we die, it's all gone. We come in with nothing, we leave with nothing. Lately, I've stopped my focus on buying things and thought more about buying experiences. Experiences will last me a lifetime. That has nothing to do with buying oils, though, because those are a priority. I don't care if it's $40 a bottle. But you know what I mean? Like, we grip. I don't want to donate $5 because then that's $5 I won't have. I don't want to cast a vote. I don't want to write a letter. If I stop and I meditate and I pray and I get in line with the oneness of it all, then the letter I write is going to be a good one. Then the donation I make, oils are experiences. Perfect rationalization. It's actually true. My donation of $5 is going to come from a completely different place and carry a completely different energy if I'm doing it out of a sense of oneness and that's what feels right for me. Rather than if I do it out of a screw you, I'm going to donate $5 to the other guy because I hate you. And the opposite is I can donate $5 to the other guy because they're more aligned with my personal beliefs and I have compassion for the other side. So I see us all as one, but I get to choose where my $5 goes. That kind of giving opens you up to more receiving. Hateful giving blocks your flow every time. So, if you think about it, if we all pooled our resources, not one person in the whole world would ever go hungry again. There was a report on NPR about how much food is wasted in America. It's like a scandalous amount. And part of that has to do with health department regulations, and part of it has to do with just being too lazy to do something with food. That's part of it's, being too much of a stickler for best by dates or use by dates, which actually are just, most often you can still eat food way past that date. So all those things come from fear too. But if we really came from love, no one would drown in a boat escaping from one country to another ever again. It wouldn't happen. We'd be like, oh, you're in danger? Here, let me send a boat, a safe boat, to get you and your children. Let me send a car. Let me send a helicopter to safely transport you from a place that chooses to act out of fear and aggression to a place that chooses to live in safety and more often come from love. It's a little utopian thinking, but it could happen. And it all starts right here on these little daily practices, on these little daily addressing of our thoughts. The more you choose love in your head, the more you choose to see the world as a place of oneness, the more you choose to, when you see a reaction to somebody out there or something out there, to flip that back and look at yourself. The more people who are doing that, the more likely it is these things will shift. Because it's our natural order is love. Fear takes a lot of energy because it's against the natural order. It's against that oneness of God who has one Son, and we are all that under Him. or her, or source, or the great whatever, or whatever you want to call it. I think that's all I got. Thank you for all those hearts. Gosh, that's a lot of hearts today. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you every day taking these 20 or 30 minutes to address the war within yourself, within your own thoughts, or at least consider the concept that we are all one. And if I'm reacting negatively to you, that's more about me than you. Yeah, I think that's it. Any questions? Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thank you, thank you. Claps and hugs to all of us. Okay, I've got a memorial portrait to start. So I'm going to do that. Facebook.com/Wolfden Press, WOLFFDEN PRESS. Thank you. Also on the Wolfden Press site is an article that was written, an interview with me that was posted on Catster magazine, Catster.com. And it's tips for self-care if you are a healer, a helper, or someone who's always giving in the world. There's some tips in there for taking care of yourself. Okay, I will see you tomorrow before noon Eastern. Hopefully a little earlier than today. Thank you, you too. I'm going to go start a drawing. That'll be a good way to use my day. Take care, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, thank you.